Question 9 starts off nice and easy. With your extensive knowledge, we have a minus x squared and we have a positive x squared. So the minus x squared is always this shape. You can see its roots are minus 3 and plus 1. And if we factor out the minus, we'll have x squared plus 2x minus 3, which you can see the other graph has the same roots. Your negative x squared, factor out the minus, you'll still find the roots the same way. And with our positive x squared, we know that it's a U shape. So f of x and g of x. In part B, we're asked to write down the roots and hence find the equation. So we have our roots here, x equals 3, x equals minus 2. So be careful with the difference between the roots and the factors. So we have x minus 3 times x plus 2 equals 0. So we're going to have x squared plus 2x minus 3x minus 6 equals 0. So x squared minus x minus 6 equals 0. You can see that the sum of the roots is equal to plus 1. This number is minus 1. The product of the roots is equal to minus 6, which is this number. So we have this equation I might introduce now, x squared minus x by the sum plus the product. Dealing with roots, we will have our quadratic. So with this one, we have a 3 and a 2. So really quickly, you could say the roots are x equals minus 3 and x equals plus 2. The sum is minus 1 and the product is also minus 6. So this is x squared. Change the sign. So plus x minus 6 equals 0. Just an alternative way to do it. You can see it does cross at minus 6. If we factorized it, we'd have x plus 3 by x minus 2, just flipping the roots into factors. And if we multiply this, we'll get x squared plus x minus 6 equals 0. But maybe you might start thinking about this way from now on. In question 10, we have 4 students studying graphs of functions in the form f of x goes to, my expression here, x squared plus 2x plus k. And x is an element of real numbers. So each student takes an integer value of k and draws the graph of his or her function in a suitable domain. Maria chose k is equal to minus 4 and drew the graph below. So let's see, is she correct? We have x squared plus 2x minus 4. This is one we saw in a previous video where the roots are just past 1 and minus 3, minus 3.2 and 1.2 approximately. So what's it asking us about her graph? It's asking us to write down the roots using the graph. So it looks about minus 3.2 and 1.2 using the graph. It's not massively big, so it's hard to get an exact reading. Maybe the one on the back might be more like 3.4, but we'll check in a minute. Each graph passes through the point 3,2. So it's not on our graph. We're going to have to create it here. This will be 3. And then up to 2. So here. So our expression x squared plus 2x plus k is equal to y. So we have Keith's point 3,2. So let's put 3 in. 3 squared plus 2 by 3 plus k. And on Keith's graph, when you put 3 in, 2 is the output. So we're going to get 9 plus 6 plus k is equal to 2. So k will be equal to 2 minus 15 k will be equal to minus 13. Then on Alice's graph, the two roots are the same. So we have a 2x in the middle, don't we? So to get x squared and 2x, it would have to be x plus 1 to be squared. And that would give x squared plus 2x plus 1. So for the roots to be the same, Alice has used 1 for k. And to draw a sketch of this, well, let's draw just sketch a general x squared first. 1 squared is 1. Minus 2 squared is 4. Climbs quite quickly. 2 squared is 4. And minus 3, 9 is not on the graph. So the graph of x squared comes down like this, touches off at 0, 0, and goes up that way. And we'll climb all the way to 9. And if we have a plus 1, it actually shifts it in the negative direction because the root, if you imagine, is minus 1. So it's the same graph. Just shifted 1 to the left to the root. So if I try and map this down, just trying to stay 1 away from it. And it goes back up. Goes up a bit steeper. Because it goes through 0, 1. It stays about 1 away from it. So approximately here, maybe a little bit more on the left to the left. Might have been better. Then we have Emma. Her roots are minus 5 and 3. Minus 5 and 3 are her roots. So we have x plus 5. By x minus 3, we'll see the product of the roots here is minus 15. X squared plus 5x minus 3x minus 15. So x squared plus 2x minus 15 would be her graph. And we're asked to find the value of k, so minus 15 would be the value of k.